With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at meistercon.com or on YouTube under MeisterCon Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I am so excited. Today, I've got actress Paniz Zade with me. So welcome, Paniz.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Did I get it right? Did I get it pronounced right?
You actually did. I got to say that doesn't happen often. So I appreciate you pronouncing it correctly, Paniz.
Well, I appreciate you saying that because I struggle just in general with pronunciation. So I try to practice a little ahead of time. But the only thing I have to work with is like other interviews and stuff. So there's always that risk if they said it wrong.
Right.
Which has happened to
and
me.
they have. Yeah. And do you prefer Mike or Michael?
Mike's fine, but I'll answer to you.
Mike, okay.
You know how that goes. Michael's what, and like my mother calls me.
Okay, so it's what? Okay, I see.
Yeah, and that usually means I'm in
trouble. Okay, so if you're in trouble with me, I'll call you Michael. Great.
Like if she calls and just starts talking when I pick up the phone, no problem. If I pick up the phone, she says, Michael, I was like, uh-oh.
Oh. You're just like, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Now, thank you so much for doing the show. I was super excited when you agreed to come on. We had Brett came on, Donahue came on a few weeks ago. And I was like, I didn't intentionally do that. But I was like, well, that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. You
so
guys
funny.
did
I love
Luckless in Love together.
Yeah. It was probably this time last year, I would say, or maybe a couple, like 9 months ago, 10 months ago last year. Yeah.
I know. You've done like all the Christmas movies, all the rom-coms.
Yeah. It's been a thing since COVID, I would say, since 2020. I'd never really done it before 2020, and then I've been on the rom-com train for a while.
It's not bad though, because we've kind of gotten away from the happy endings or where everything's tied up in a nice bow. Now it's all it's all bittersweet, and or maybe it's ambiguous. It doesn't really have an ending or anything. It's kind of nice having those.
Trying to take more risks. Yeah. It's nice when you get a chance to kind of switch up I don't want to say formula, but a little bit. They can be a little bit formulaic. So when you are given liberty to kind of switch it up a bit, it's always fun. And I like leaning into the comedy a lot in those. I just find, and actually with Brett on Luckless in Love, we really try to see what we could get away with. We're like, let's just see how much we can improvise and how much autonomy we'll have as actors on this.
Some improvising?
Yeah, that was like a very, very fun job. John Bradshaw, the director, he was awesome. And he just really trusted the actors.
Yeah.
And it just felt like a collaboration, which was really nice, which I always love. And Brett was a great scene partner. Steffi, who played my best friend, Steffi Didomen Cantonio. I hope I didn't butcher her last name. She was great. So yeah, it was fun. Like John definitely let us. I mean, sometimes he'd have to be like, okay, let's reel it back, guys. You're taking it a bit too far. But I was like, if it doesn't work, the editor will just cut it out.
That's why we have an editor.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Now that has to be kind of nice, unless you're really bad at improv. Then it might be stressful.
Yes, and sometimes I know Steffi and I, we were just half the time we kind of forgot what scene we were even, because we would just start making each other laugh in the scene and taking it so far, and then we just had to, everyone's like, okay, poor Steffi's just like, all right guys, okay, let's just cut, and we just kept going, and they're like, you guys need to, it felt like her and I just felt like we were in high school a little bit, like we'd get so giddy around each other and start laughing. So maybe
did you hang out outside of the filming?
Actually, Wow, that's like I'm obsessed with Steffi. I keep talking about her. I just saw her last week. She's doing a musical here in Toronto called Rock of Ages, which
Oh yeah,
yeah, she was kind
a
enough.
big one.
She's kind of Yeah, she was kind enough to put me on the guest list. So I went there for opening night, and that was great. So that was actually, I think, the first time we've seen each other outside of uh the acting world, but we chat here and there. Yeah. So,
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah.
So what got you into acting? When in your life did you say this is what I want to do, and how'd you go into it?
I think I feel like in my gut, I just like I loved performing, whether it was telling a joke in front of family at like a dinner, or like I remember being really young and being at a wedding and just taking the mic from the MC and just like getting up there and telling a joke. And when people were laughing, I was just like, oh, I love this.
This is
The
it.
bride and groom are probably like, somebody come get your kid. Like, whose kid is this? Like, get her off the stage. So in a way, I feel like I always was very creative, and I like performing, and I love painting and drawing and stuff too. And my parents were very supportive that way. But I also it's kind of like I don't come from a family of artists. So it's just like a family of academics. I feel like everyone's like an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer. So it was kind of that way. I felt like there was a plan that was laid out for me. It was like, you go to high school, then you graduate, you go to
Mhm.
university, which is what I did. I went to university right after. And I was planning on, I was doing communications and poli sci. Like my major was communications, my minor was political science, and my plan was to go to law school
Mhm.
after. So I don't know what it's like in the States, but there you do your 4 years undergrad, and then you
That's
see if you
right.
can get into law school.
Yeah.
But I honestly think I just wanted to play a lawyer on TV or in a movie or something. And I
Have you
seriously,
got to do that?
a lawyer? No, I
Yeah.
haven't done a lawyer yet, but I feel like it's coming. I feel like something
I
sharp
think you could
tongue,
totally,
fast
yeah, you
paced.
could totally play a lawyer.
I think so too. I think I can do it. I've auditioned for it a few times, but just it's gonna happen. I'm putting it out there. Yeah, I want to do
Did you
like a
tell them you were supposed to be a lawyer? Maybe that
what's
would help.
that?
I said, did you
I know,
let them
maybe,
know
right?
that you were supposed to be a lawyer before you went into
I
acting?
wonder if
So maybe,
I should put that on my resume or something.
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
almost lawyer.
Um, yeah, almost exactly. It's funny, I have a few friends who are lawyers though, and they're like, it's not what you see in the movies, or like you're just doing a lot of reading. It's not as exciting as I'm like, what? You don't get to wear like cool pencil skirts with like Louboutins and walk there? Like, no, that suits Paniz. You can't do that. I'm like, okay.
I know it's never as glamorous as you think it's.
No, no, there's probably some work into it. But yeah, I graduated, and then I got into this acting class just one summer. I think I was just like I wanted to get in. I was doing commercials here and there. So
Yeah.
I spoke to my agent, and I was like, hey, I want to just take an acting class. And I didn't think of it as anything to turn into anything. And I sat there and I saw all these incredibly talented actors. I was just blown away. And um, I don't know, I just was like, this is what I want to do. So I haven't looked back, and I'm really happy that I made that decision. It was scary, especially telling my parents. They're like, wait, what?
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask you is how did they handle it? Because as a parent, you're like, what's your fallback?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've been so fortunate. My parents have been so creative. Like they're just very creatively supportive. But I do think at first they thought it was like, oh, it's probably a phase. She just
Right.
graduated. Her security blanket is gone. She doesn't know. Um, but yeah, I think they came around pretty quick. Like at first, when you're just starting out, it's really difficult because you're going on. I mean, it's still like that, don't get me wrong, but it takes a long time to even, get your first thing. So they saw me just like the ups and downs of like, oh my God, I got an audition. I got a call back. Oh, it didn't go my way. I'm put on hold. It didn't. It's just like, so they kept seeing they were worried for sure. But now it's kind of nice when I have those demons come back, when I'm like, oh
Mhm.
my God, what am I doing? Those days when acting doesn't, where I'm just getting like frustrated with it, and they're actually like no. And it's weird. Things they've calmed me down and they're like, you don't need a plan B. This is it. You just keep going.
That's
You know,
awesome.
so
That's good
yeah, it's
parenting.
been yeah, they're the best.
Do you, when you have something coming out, do you get together
Mhm.
as a family to watch it?
No.
Mm.
They probably want to. Yeah, to be honest, like I'm trying to think when we've done that. I mean, they live in Vancouver. I'm in Toronto. So if I'm not in Vancouver, it like
Yeah,
if
it'd
something
be
comes out,
tough.
they'll
Yeah.
just watch it. Yeah. I'm trying to think if we've ever done that. I don't think so. I don't think we've done, and I don't think I would like that experience. I don't think I would want to sit somewhere with people I know watching me watch myself. I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think I'd be too self-conscious and I would be like, are they liking it? I don't
You know, though,
know.
you're in all these Christmas movies. If it's like our
Mhm.
house, during Christmas vacation, you always have one on, even if you're not watching it,
Yeah,
just on in the background.
totally. It's kind of like the fireplace, with the hand that like moves the log. It's just like it can be there. You can like
That
fold
is
your
what it's
laundry and
like.
have it. Yeah, and it's kind of comforting, you can miss a scene or two and you can still come back and like kind of know what's happening. Like, oh, they're
Yeah.
falling in love. There's a Christmas tree.
I know. That's
Nice.
the nice part about it.
Yeah.
My oldest was a dancer growing up, and
Okay.
she went for the Macy's parade. One year they
Okay.
took her dance troupe, and she was in that. Well, I recorded that, of course. And that's been now, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago with that. But every
Hmm.
Thanksgiving, because she was in that Thanksgiving parade, that's what we
Yes.
play. I just got it playing in the background with that. It drives her crazy.
I bet.
It's like, Dad, nobody wants to see that. And I was like,
I
there's
love
one person here that does.
it. Every year.
Every year, because I don't
That's
watch it
awesome.
other than on Thanksgiving. I was like, it's a Thanksgiving
Yeah.
tradition.
Oh, that's really sweet. I
Yeah.
like
Well,
that.
she's got a my granddaughter, and she's in dance. She's just 3, so she's
Okay.
just starting, but loves it.
So
I
cute.
was like, she's gonna, one of these days when she can realize that's you, she's gonna love that.
And she's going to probably do it to her every Thanksgiving. The first
Oh
thing
yeah,
that and it's going to
absolutely.
be like a generational. I love
I'm hoping.
it. Yeah.
I would be okay with that. If it transitions to my granddaughter at some point, I'm okay with that. But until it does, my
You got to
daughter.
pass on the traditions. I love it. Yeah.
I think
It'll
that's
happen.
that's the way. Well, you have to have those things. I mean, I'm sure your
Absolutely.
family growing up had certain things that they did, at the holidays every time.
Yeah. I mean, it usually just revolves around food, lots of food,
And we had
like
that
a
too.
lot. That's kind of the centerpiece of everything, which I'm not mad about. Every time I go home to Vancouver, I feel like I'm a child again. I just make my list of things that my mom needs to make me. And that's like all I want to do is just sit there and eat my mom's cooking. And I'm like,
I
how did
for
I take this for
years.
granted when I was living under your
Well,
roof?
that's right. What you do growing up, you don't
Yeah.
realize how great and how lucky you are to have that.
Hmm.
I went
Yeah.
years after I got out of college or moved out of my parents' house. I would still every Christmas I'd leave the Christmas catalog there with mom and have a bunch of stuff circled just as a joke
I love it.
with
Yeah.
that. Do that. She's like, "You're 30." Still a kid at
Just like
heart.
dropping hints. Yeah, exactly. They probably love it. They love
We've been
it.
lucky because our whole family's right here. We've got
Hmm.
3 or 4 generations within 10 miles of each other. So
Wow.
been
So
that's the biggest
Thanksgiving,
reason why we never left.
yeah, yeah. So your dinners, your Christmas dinner, your Thanksgiving, like how many people are sitting at the table?
I think
Like,
this past Thanksgiving, we had probably 30, so not
wow.
huge, but big. But then Christmas, my brother, it lives in Raleigh, but all his kids are
Hmm.
here. They're grown too, but so he
Yeah,
came in, and so Christmas we had his whole crew too. So we probably had
yeah.
40, 45, something like that for Christmas. It's a pretty big group.
Wow. That's amazing. That is.
we
so
had our
special.
first Christmas family, party or whatever at the our podcasting studio this year.
Okay.
So now this is the official, Christmas location, because it
Christmas.
wasn't my mom.
Oh, cool.
But she's getting older. We wanted to take that off of her because you know how that goes. She feels like she has to do all the cooking. The house has to be perfect, decorated.
Oh my gosh, probably doesn't sit down. Like, I don't know about
down.
you, but like my mom never sits down, and I'm
No.
like, just sit down. She's just catering to everyone. It's like you're making everyone nervous. Like, just sit down.
That's exactly right. So now we took that away from her. So she can just come.
Yeah.
She shows up. She, the food was already here. She can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just although
I love it.
she has trouble with it. She feels like she should be doing something. I'm like, just go play with your grandkids.
It's like that generation. I feel like they just don't know how to relax. Maybe
they don't.
I don't know. I hope my mom doesn't listen to this, but she's
she will.
Yeah.
She will.
But yeah, just
so
I
wanted to ask you.
just sit. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about Green Beret's Guide to Surviving.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's based on a book, right?
I don't know. So I shot that in 2017.
Yeah. I know it's been a while.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it's based on a book. And why wouldn't you get that out? Yeah. We love that type of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard here and there just through some people that it was shelved. Some people said there was I don't know. I'm not in touch with anybody from that, unfortunately.
Did you get to play a zombie?
No, but I loved my character. It was so fun. I played my character's name was Ashley. She was this drug dealer with a raver drug dealer, which I've haven't gotten to play since. I had these cool hair and this outfit, and I had this little backpack it was just kind of a badass role that doesn't come around, and it was really
tell you
fun.
The truth, I think it may have been a comic.
Yeah, I think it was, yes, and I think it was it, and then Sean, who was one of the creators, he was, I believe he was a Green Beret, so this was a lot of his stuff that he had brought into the screenplay. Yeah, him and Daryl Fannin. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't know.
I hope it gets out at some point. That's why I was asking.
That'd be cool.
I was we've been hearing about this one for years now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It was fun though. It was cool. It was there's some stunts and.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you get to color your hair?
No, it wasn't. But I had cool braids in it, and just my outfit. She's she was just a wild child, and it was really.
I'm very jealous of the hair stuff. I don't get to do it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but maybe you get to wear cool hats, or
Well, I had an interview earlier today, and they suggested maybe wigs, and I was like, I should do a different wig for every podcast.
I love it. I think you should. I think I know actresses that they have a wig collection. So every audition they get, they actually put on a different wig for that role, which I think is super cool, because so many times it's you might just not get a role because of your hair, which is awful, but it can happen. I might get wigs after this. I like that.
Yeah, you got to have a wig closet.
Yeah. I don't know if have you ever watched Schitt's Creek at all?
That's what I was thinking of, exactly. Yeah,
Moira Rose with her wig. Oh my gosh, yeah, Catherine O'Hara, anything, but yeah, that
Schitt's
wig
Creek
closet,
was we that's one we binged during the pandemic. When we were stuck.
Me too.
Yeah, because I I think I tried it when it first came out, and I was like, nah, and so we watched it, and that first episode, you're like, it's just not for me. I just don't get these people. And then by the end of the second episode, you're like, I love these people so much.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I felt like it was the perfect thing to binge during the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I think it's so well done. I love Dan Levy. It's all the whole thing. I loved it. I feel like
the whole cast. One of those you love the whole cast.
Everyone is so good. And yeah, at first you're kind of why am I rooting for these people? Are awful. Why would I be rooting for them? And then in no time, your heart is just breaking. You're really rooting for them. It's
like
amazing.
It about killed us that they didn't have another season.
Pardon?
It about killed us that they just stopped it. You know, they didn't have another, because they decided they were done.
I agree, but you know what? Sometimes I think that's a good thing. I think go out on a high. It's like one of my favorite shows right now, Succession. They just announced that their season 4 is going to be their last one, and I'm obsessed with that show. And
that's the season coming out now, right?
It is, yeah. And
it
they
is
just
a
announced,
great
and
show.
but I do feel like it's smart, you know, because the show is still so good. It's still just like winning every Emmy, and just go out on a high. Don't, you know, how much longer can you go with it? So
10 seasons.
maybe that's yeah.
No, I think a show like that especially better off getting out early, because that's usually what happens. You love a show, and then somewhere along the way it just loses a little bit, and then you lose interest and you stop watching.
Exactly. Breaking Bad did the same thing, which is probably my favorite show of all time. And they like, that was such a perfect finale the way it ended. And they could have kept going for sure. They could have done like 3 more seasons, but I kind of think it was smart to just be like, okay, it's done. Yeah.
Leave them wanting more.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that too. That's actually smart. Although the fan of me, I'm like, no, just keep making it.
I know. Well, as a fan, I'm like, please, I need, I hope.
Schitt's Creek, I was like, at Big Bang Theory, I was a Big Bang Theory fan, and they were in for 12 seasons. I'm like, how many do you need? Seasons. I guess 13 or 14 for me, but
oh my gosh, yeah.
At some point, you got
12 seasons.
12 seasons, and that one's kind of interesting, because if you binge that one and watch it, you can really see. I mean, you're watching them kind of grow up. You know, they were pretty young when that show started.
yeah. I've only seen with Big Bang. I feel like it's on my list. I've only seen like episodes here and there, but I definitely need to.
Yeah, you need to watch that one.
I think it's one of those you have to start from the beginning, I think.
Oh, you have
Sometimes when I come in, I don't. Yeah, I feel like I've watched an episode here and there. It's been on TV, and I'm like, I don't know where.
I liked it. It reminded me of my friends and me growing up, because we were so nerdy. So a lot of that stuff on there, and I tried for years to get my parents to watch it. I was like, you need to watch this. It's really good. Because they're always fussing. They can't find anything. I'm like, watch this. And then one day, it's probably 5 or 6 years into the show, my dad comes up to me. He's over at the house, and he came up and he's like, have you ever watched this Big Bang? It's like you and your buddies growing up. It's the best. I was like, are you kidding me? I've been telling you to watch that for 5 years.
That's so I love that. Okay, I got to put that on the list. Yeah, I know people that are obsessed with that show. They love it. So
good show. I know it's got people that don't like it. I don't really understand it, but yeah, it's good show. You can't beat a good comedy. You know, like a Seinfeld or Schitt's Creek, or back when I was growing up, we were big like Friends and Cheers, and you can't beat those shows.
Friends. I'm actually rewatching. Like, I've seen every episode of Friends probably 1,000 times. Like, it's to a point where you can tell me this episode, what is like Rachel wearing? Like, that's how much of a fan I am. And it's kind of like my comfort. I find it's it just instantly puts me in a good mood if I'm watching it. It's just like comfort, even though I know exactly what's going to happen.
Well, you can just put it on and do whatever else you're doing. And then just glance up once in a while, and you're like, and just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's Joey being Joey again. Okay, cool.
Friends is another one. After we watch, Ashley, that's my daughter, dancing, then we switched all the Friends Thanksgiving episodes.
Oh my God, they're so good. Yes, I love it. The turkey on Monica's head with the dance. Yeah, so good.
I know you like a good ensemble cast is I think it's really difficult to get, but if you get it right, it's the best.
I agree. I think we're seeing a lot more ensemble stuff lately. At least like all of my favorite shows, I feel like it's a really strong ensemble cast.
There's just so many good actors out there.
So many. It makes it hard for the actor though, because you're like, everyone's so good.
Yes, but you're so talented. You're totally, and you're pretty early still. You got a long runway still.
Thank you. That's nice to hear.
when you filmed these Christmas movies, did you film them in the summer?
I've done a few now. So the I've done two in the summer, and then I actually just wrapped one up last month in Ottawa in like a
Oh.
polar vortex. So that's slated for next Christmas.
See, that's the way they should do them. Why are you filming in the summer? Just do it the year before.
Yeah. I mean, it was so cold, but I have to say, if I had to pick doing a Christmas movie in a polar vortex versus in the heat of Toronto, July, sitting in a car wearing all these layers, pretending it's cold when you actually have a heat rash, I would pick the cold. I think doing like, yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. You would have to put me out there with like the blizzard and like the wind coming at my face again. Maybe. I mean, I just wrapped less than a month ago. I wrapped, so maybe I forgot how brutal it was. But I just feel like being hot. Yeah, I feel like being hot and wearing like everything. I don't know.
How do you keep like cool? I mean, how do they? You know what I mean? Like I would sweat so bad they'd be like, I don't trust this guy. I could never do a Christmas movie because they'd be like, this guy, I don't know what's wrong with that guy. Something's wrong with him. I'd be sweating.
Oh my gosh, no. No, there's always like the best crew. They're always taking care of you. Like if it's hot, there's little like fans like that you can like hold. I mean, they don't do much, but still. And then
it gives you the feeling that you have something.
Yeah, and if it's cold, you have heat. And you know what, you're doing what you love. So I think it all like hopefully you're doing what you love. So I think it all just goes away. You can suck it up for
what's the name of the one you just wrapped?
It's called Laughing All the Way. I'm not sure if they'll change the name. Like sometimes
I hope they don't.
I really like that name too. I think it's hopefully you'll be laughing all the way through the film. Yeah, it was cool. It was like it's about a stand-up comedian or an aspiring stand-up comedian who is a ghostwriter for this more experienced and like a vet in the business. So it's kind of like I'm ghostwriting for this woman and working at this comedy club. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I had a good time. I got to do, I got to get a taste of what it's like to do stand-up. So that was nice.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever done stand-up?
No, I mean, I think I'm hilarious, but I've never no one's ever paid me to do stand-up.
Well,
I just
that'd be a great way to find out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was cool though. And I mean, the people that are listening to me do the stand-up, their job is to like laugh, even if it's not funny. But I was like, if you're doing like, I just got a taste of it. I was like, if you're actually a stand-up comedian and you get laughter like that is the most thrilling. I was like, I mean, it would be I couldn't imagine how tough of a job it would be. It's like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine doing it.
You know what? I couldn't do it just because of the hours. It's too late.
Yeah. I
mean, we can't do stand up at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. You and I would fall asleep like we were talking about. Yeah, the hours, no. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, I mean, I've been to those. I don't know. Have you ever been to a comedy club when someone's bombing, or it's like the crowd is like, I don't know how I would recover. I feel like you just have to have the toughest skin. I feel like I would. I don't know.
A lot of comedians say you have to bomb in order to be good.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, I admire people that do that. It's like stand-up comedians. I admire that. It's amazing.
Seems super hard.
Yeah.
So I liked you on The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, thank you.
You were like a Wanda.
Martha. Yeah, it was Martha Wanda. Yeah, that was fun. That's definitely one of my favorite shows.
I do mine too.
Yes.
But it's rough. It's one of those that I have trouble binging it. I got to do like one episode and then take a break and then do another.
Yeah, no, it's for a while. I don't know. I was doing like 4 episodes in a row, and it would be like right before going to bed, and I was like, okay, like why am I having nightmares? It's heavy. It's very, very heavy.
That's a rookie mistake. You gotta go to bed on like a comedy.
Yeah, you finish an episode and then you end on Friends or Big Bang.
That's right.
You go,
That's
you like,
what we do. We do a comedy, or
yeah,
maybe like the monologue from one of the talk shows, something that just is kind of a little lighter. So
yes,
something that's not
exactly.
going to bang around in your head all night, keep you up.
No, no. If you put on a Christmas movie and then you go to bed,
Yeah.
that works.
Oh yeah, I can put on a Christmas movie and I'll be asleep during the movie. It's so
Yeah.
comforting, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
you just relax. That's why I think everybody loves Christmas movies, because you
Mhm.
overeat and then you just kind of
Mhm.
relax on the couch, you know, and just watch them until you just fade into oblivion.
I love it. Yes, exactly. And then yeah, it's comforting. It is nice.
Did you do an episode of Arrow?
I did. Yeah, a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Are you
thought
an Arrow
so.
fan?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a comic book guy, so
Yeah. Well, I
you know,
can
when it
see.
first came out, my son and I, we were way into it because it was just neat seeing, you know, a comic book kind of
Yeah.
thing on screen, because it kind of started all, you know, the
Right.
redoing of all that, and then it became this
Mhm.
big. It became so big, couldn't keep up with all of it because
Yeah.
we
Yeah, I
tried.
think it was, yeah.
It's just
If it,
there's,
like,
you know, they had
because
like
yeah, I guess
10
Arrow
superhero shows.
started. Yeah. I guess Arrow was the first one, and then it was like Supergirl,
Yeah,
Flash.
you
It was
got
all of those
Flash
like
and
CW
Legends of
shows.
Tomorrow and Batgirl,
Yeah.
and it just kept coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, but I thought it'd been a while, but I thought I remembered seeing you on an episode of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you've increased your street cred with being in a, you know, a comic book show. That's pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
your
Yeah.
nerd cred. Your nerd cred.
Yeah. My nerd card. Perfect.
Well, and you did I think was a show called Slasher.
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I've had
was
some other I was trying to remember because I know I've had other actors that were in Slasher, because didn't it run for a while?
yeah, I think every season is it's a different story,
Right. It's
but
like a
sometimes
different.
they reuse, yeah, they
Mhm.
reuse the same actor sometimes in a different role every season, which is kind of cool.
I was trying to figure that. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't remember. I know I've had, you know, you do 600 interviews and you lose a little bit, but I know
Oh my
I've
gosh.
talked to a few people that have been on that. So that's why I kind of recognized it. I was
Wow.
like, oh, I know that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually if it's still going. Like it might still be going. And I
Maybe,
don't know.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm a big chicken, so I tend not to watch, you
Yeah.
know, it's called slasher, which indicates that somebody may be getting slashed. I'm, you know, kind of.
Yeah, there's some brutal ways that people die in that show.
Yeah,
There's yeah.
yeah.
You
Oh,
just again, you put on a Christmas movie right before bed. You're good.
that's right. That's right. You got to watch those early. My wife and I say that's a Sunday afternoon type affair.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
something early in the day. But you did
Perfect.
Blood and Treasure.
I did. Yeah.
That was
I
another
shot
one
that
we
in
binged
Morocco. Cool.
late. You know, like we started
Mhm.
watching it when the second season came out, which was delayed
Yeah,
when it came out. But there you
because of
were.
COVID. Yeah.
There you were.
Yeah. That was fun. I got to go to Morocco for that. So that was just like,
How
so,
long were
I
you
just
in
love.
Morocco?
I was there for, I want to say almost 2 weeks,
Oh,
maybe
that's
a little
pretty
bit
good.
less.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it was really nice. I loved, I
Morocco
actually was
is
just
one of
talking to my,
those that it sounds awesome. Like it'd be one I would love to go to, but I don't know when I would ever go. You know, like when you're thinking of a
yeah,
vacation, you know, we normally don't say, how about Morocco? But then if you
yes,
had a
yes.
reason and somebody sent you, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was just talking to my sister about it because she's never been, and her husband has a conference there next year.
Ooh,
So I was
nice.
like, so now again, she's like, she wants to go, and she's like, you should come. I was like, yes. And I told her to just take an empty giant suitcase because they have like the most incredible handmade
Oh, yeah.
everything, like from plates to it's just such a magical city. I loved it. And I love the
I know.
food and
That's what I was
yeah,
going to ask you
I
is how
definitely
was the
want to go back.
food? Because I know I like
Or
Moroccan
Marrakesh.
food.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so good. There's like the tagine. It's a lot of like stew and rice and they have this like mint tea which is great with honey
Ooh,
and like I was in Marrakesh but there's like I'm sure so many other places that you can go to
yeah.
and it's it's a little wild like when you go to the market it's like very much everyone's just like,
do you have to negotiate?
You have to be. Yeah, I actually learned pretty early on that it's rude not to negotiate. Um, so it's kind of like both parties have to feel like they got a good deal. So if I'm like, I want this bag, and they're saying, okay, it's 10 dirhams, and I'm like, okay, great. The merchant's like, oh, I should have said it was like 15. So you have to,
you make them feel
it's
like
part of the
maybe they gave
culture.
you too good a deal if you just accept it.
Yeah, but it's a sign of respect. You have to both negotiate. I mean, obviously you can't lowball too much. Like you probably yeah, it's tough though. I think bargaining,
Well, if you
I don't
came
know.
back and
I'm not
said
the
7 or 8,
yeah.
then maybe they could go to 9, and then there you go.
And then yeah, there you go. Then you shake hands and yeah.
I like that. I
I do
probably have
too.
trouble with a busy market though.
Yeah, it can be a lot for sure. I'm kind of used to it. Like I'm Iranian, so I've been to those bazaars where it's just like it wasn't quite like Marrakesh. But for me, I found like I didn't mind it, but there's definitely a few people I was with where they're like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
getting it's
I
getting
think
too
just the
intense.
first time, that first time would be a little overwhelming.
Culture shock for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You just have to be
it'd be
prepared for it. And it's
fun
kind of
though.
like, I think you have to be firm and just say no. And if as soon as anywhere I find if I'm with my phone and I'm taking photos and I'm looking at everything, it's like tourist alert, tourist alert.
I
I
know
think
it's
you
like
have
when
to
you
kind of
go to the big cities and stuff. I was always told, don't be looking up in the air,
yeah,
because then
yeah,
they'll
yeah,
know. They'll know you're a tourist.
exactly. Yeah. Oh God. I'm so bad at that though. I'm always just like,
Well, me too.
wow, wow, wow. And then I'm like, why do they keep approaching me? They keep trying to
I
sell
know
me things.
everybody's coming. Hey, take this Hollywood
Yeah.
tour.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
basically. And I'm so easy to upsell to. It's like I'm that
Me
person.
too.
They're like, and then you should get this too, and this on top of it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm a
Yeah.
people pleaser. I don't like telling anybody no. It gets me in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's hard. No, no, it's important to be able to say no, but sometimes in certain situations I find myself being like, yes, when I actually want to be
Yeah, you're just like, please just leave me alone.
like,
Is there a genre that you haven't done yet that you would like to do?
ooh, a genre that I haven't done. I mean, I feel like I've been fortunate enough. I've kind of like
Yeah,
done a
you've
little
touched
bit
on
of
most of them anyway. Maybe
everything.
like
Yeah.
how about like a fantasy sci-fi type?
Yeah, yeah. No, I haven't. I guess I haven't done that. That would be super cool. Yeah. I think sci-fi would be up there. And I would love to also do um like like a really gritty drama indie. Like I've never gotten to, where it's like
Yeah.
I think that would be really challenging, but rewarding in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Would you want to be a bad guy, or do you want to be like somebody that's fighting the bad guys?
I mean, it depends on the role.
Yeah.
I always find like being the bad guy is fun because I find you have a bit more room to play. I think
That's
you
right.
can be a little bit bigger sometimes. It just depends. It's kind of like Batman or Joker. I want to be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
like a period piece?
That would be cool. I would love to, that's the one thing I feel like I would love to do a period piece. I don't even think I haven't really auditioned for a period piece either. Like it doesn't come my way that often, but I think that would be really cool.
That'd be pretty
Something with
good.
a dialect too, like a dialect that I haven't done.
Mhm.
I think that would
Are
be,
you pretty good
you know,
with the dialects and changing your accent?
I mean, I did it in Blood and Treasure. That's the only one where
Yeah.
I've actually done it on camera.
Yeah, it was very believable.
I'm British. Yeah, there's some accents I can do. I know I tried to do Australian once. I found and I got a coaching for it, and I just found Australians really hard. But I've been watching some Australian reality shows. There's one called Instant Hotel, and I think if I ever get one where it has to be I'm just listening to that. If it has to be an Australian accent, I just find it's a really difficult accent to do.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
know everybody thinks it's
yeah,
an easy one, but it's not.
no, no, that's all I can say is a no.
That was good though.
There's probably some Australian person that's gonna be like, you don't sound Australian. I don't know what you're doing.
I interviewed an actress that was in Sydney, and I didn't quite have the time zone difference down yet. But she still came on, but it was like 6 o'clock in the morning for her. And I'm like, why in the world did you do this? Just tell me next time. But she was like that. She was like, well, I didn't want to say. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And she looked like she was struggling, which is why I said, I was like, what time is it there? Like 6 o'clock. It's still dark, out in the, I'm like,
oh, that's a devoted.
I know. She was terrific. I was like the worst host ever. I was like, I'd have gladly moved this back. But the timing's kind of weird because it was going to be, they're going to be either super early and I'm going to be really late, or vice versa because of the time difference. So it's a little challenging, but she was a good sport. She was a good sport.
I'm sure it worked out.
You need a Friends comedy. Something like that.
I need
like
ensemble.
Yeah.
Yes. Or what I have my eyes on right now, and when you say ensemble, White Lotus is like the best. I don't know if you've seen it.
My gosh, I love White Lotus.
That ensemble to me is so good.
Both seasons.
I just love
amazing.
That. Both seasons. It's hard to choose. I was actually on a plane and it was right after I finished season 2, and I was on like a 6-hour plane ride, and I started watching season 1. And I forgot how funny season 1 was too. Oh my God, it's just such a good show. But ensemble, yes. Friends, White Lotus, let's just put it out there.
White Lotus, something like that would be fun because it would it's a little strange. There's weird stuff happening. It's got some comedy in there. It's got some suspense.
That's why it's a little bit of everything, which I like. It's like a dark satire comedy, which is cool. And
I saw somebody had said that they tried to stay at that resort that they filmed the second season at. It was like $4,000 a night or something.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure they shot it at the 4 Seasons in Taormina Beach. Which,
that's probably right.
Yeah. That's what I think. I don't know, but
that's one of those that you got to be on a show and have them put you up there.
Yes, why not? Hey, Mike White, if you're watching.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's another show too. When it ends, I just get so sad, and like I don't want to spoil anything, but you did finish season 2, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
Like the ending of season 2 just killed me. I was not ready.
Well, Jennifer kind of spoiled that with her speech.
Right. Yeah. God, I love her, but that's the thing. It's like, how are they gonna do it? I just hope like her ghost comes back or something.
I said the same thing. They flashback something.
She has to like come back exactly. Like we
can't not have her
anymore.
If you did it more in the past, you could have her on.
Yeah. Why not? I love it.
You wouldn't have to be in the same year.
Yeah, and I think there's got to be something because I think her assistant Portia, she's got to come back.
Yeah. She was good.
Very good ensemble, both seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I hope season 3 comes out soon. So we froze up a little bit, if you were nice enough to hang in there. I mean, it was totally on your side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you weren't frozen like this at all.
I usually frozen with my mouth open, so it's good if I was at least keeping
I thought you just got bored of me and you're like, that's it, I need to end this.
I'm done with her.
Exactly. You didn't know how to wrap it up. You're like, let's just pretend that it's
yeah, I'm that guy. And like
it's apart. Oh God.
I don't know what happened.
It can be handy in Zoom auditions, you forget your line and you're just like, you just pretend.
Yeah, you gotta hold real still.
Yeah, until the line comes back to you and then you're like, oh, okay.
Okay, now I'm back. Yeah, froze up there for a minute.
Just for the record, I've never done that. Okay, I'm just saying.
Sure. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm such a fan of yours. I'm going to be rooting for you to get that juicy sitcom or drama ensemble.
Love it. Love it.
Although
pleasure.
if you want to keep doing Christmas movies, I'm good with that.
Yeah, you know, or I'm ready to be a superhero. I think it's about time there's I think there's about time there's an Iranian superhero, you know?
Let's do it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
We got I mean, now's the time. There's so much.
And time, you know, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole political thing, but Time named women of Iran the superheroes of the year about everything that's going on there. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's time. Maybe we might have to write it.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. Okay, you write it. You call me. I'll be there.
Okay. Okay. Deal. She said she'd do it. I could maybe write it, but you'll have to help me with the costume because I'm not
done. You have to write yourself a part too. Okay, so you.
Ooh. Yeah. I will happily be the the reason we know somebody's the villain. You know, because I can be I'll gladly be the first kill.
Okay. Wait, okay, so you asked me if I would rather play the good guy or the villain. How about you? If you got to choose?
If I had the choice, I don't know. I've always said the good guy, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe I'd like to be the villain.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Like if it was a Western, I definitely prefer wearing black to white.
But it's hot.
It is hot though. Black is so hot.
Yeah. Black, I think so. Like an all black attire. Cowboy.
That is true. All these bad guys wearing all black, and they're in the desert, basically. What are they doing?
Yeah. I like it. Okay, you write it. You let me know.
All right, I'll write it. You work on the costume. That's a done deal.
I love it.
But you got to do mine too.
Okay.
You know.
All right. What's your color? I mean, that's like a navy blue. We can work with that.
I'm probably more your base colors. You know, I tend to go darker, black, gray, blue. You know.
Okay. Got it.
Not too exciting. Perfect. So maybe pink. Yeah. Something a little more.
Why not? Why not? I love it.
A bright red.
My favorite color. Great.
Yeah, pink's a nice color.
Good color. So many shades. There's pastel pink.
That's why pink is so good.
Hot pink.
Yeah. There's or fuchsia.
Yeah. Exactly. There you go. I feel like fuchsia would be your color. Okay. I like it. I have some. I'm getting some inspired ideas? Here.
All right. Yeah. I'm willing to wear a wig too. So just.
Okay.
Maybe a little fake mohawk or something.
Cool. Why not? Is there a villain with a mohawk already? I feel like you would know this.
Can't think of any.
Great.
Maybe from Road Warrior, maybe from back in that one. It seems like there was a guy that was a bad guy that had a mohawk. That's the only one I can think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a fuchsia mohawk. Anyways, we can keep going.
We got some homework.
Yeah.
So a couple of things before we wrap up. Anything else you're working on that we can keep an eye
on? I shot a really cool pilot last fall, called The Never Game. It's based on a book by Jeffrey Deaver, and that one is I think it's slated. It got picked up for a full series, which is exciting. Nice. So I think I'm pretty sure it's slated for like fall 2023. I may be wrong, but yeah, that was really fun.
What's the where's it showing? What's the streamer it's on?
It's CBS. Yeah.
Oh, it's CBS.
It was produced by 20th Century, and it's going to be CBS, and
it's cool.
It's based on a book. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, it's really fun. I got to play. I mean, I don't know how much I can talk about it. I guess I can just say I got to play my first cop. I hadn't been a police officer.
I'm surprised you hadn't played a police officer.
Really? Yeah, me too. I think so. Yeah, it was really fun.
That's one step closer to a lawyer.
There you go. Yes, exactly.
You're getting closer. So
And I
last
can be like,
thing,
Mom, yeah.
what or where can we find you on social
Social media, Instagram. That's kind of where I had TikTok for a hot minute, but I got rid of it.
media? Can you dance?
I can. Yeah, I can moonwalk actually. I'm a
Oh,
very
see,
good at
then you
let me
should
do
keep TikTok.
I can do the robot. Yeah, I know. TikTok it was addicting. I felt like it's called TikTok because time was
Oh my gosh.
tick-tocking.
You have to limit yourself.
Yeah.
You got to put like a timer on it. I'm only going to do it for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. I don't have, yeah. But I do feel like I'm falling behind on conversations and like hip things that are happening because I'm seeing it on Instagram and I'll send it to a friend of mine. She's like, I've seen this on TikTok like 6 months ago. You're
That's
behind.
how
I'm
it
like,
goes.
oh, okay.
It starts on
Yeah.
TikTok and it migrates over to the other ones, but it takes a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
If
So
you wait
maybe I'll
though,
give
then you
in.
find it and you're like, it's already passed. They're already on to something new and you're behind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just Instagram. That's kind of yeah, it's at Paniz Zade. So it's just my first name, last name. And I post all kind of weird things. It's not a niche. It's just
That's good. That's good. But
Mhm.
but you put stuff on there. That's good. You know, you're active.
Yeah, I try to. I feel like I should be more active sometimes, but I also like to take breaks now and then. It can
Well,
be a
you
lot.
need those. You know,
Hmm.
you got to turn on friends,
Yeah.
turn the phone off, relax.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope you'll come back. Maybe when the new show comes out, we can have you back on.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It was so nice meeting you.
Well, it was so nice meeting you. I hope we get to do this again, maybe without the interruption.
Okay, done. I love it.
It felt like, I know it was only probably like 10 minutes, but it felt like an hour. I was like, come back.
I was convinced you were just bored of me. You didn't know how to wrap it up.
Not
You're
coming
like,
back.
I'm just
Well,
gonna
you know,
play
I
Frozen.
connected, I reconnected, and it just said connecting for like 5 minutes. And I was like, well, this is.
Yeah.
Then I closed it out and started again. It came right up. Okay.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a long-term problem.
No, exactly.
I talked to a gentleman that used to be on 90210, and about halfway through his internet, like somebody had run into a telephone pole or something, and it went down.
Oh no.
So we only got half the interview done, and then but he came back the next day for us to finish. But so we were trying to pick up a day later, you know, at the same spot. So I think it went okay, but both of us were like, that's tough because you gotta try to get the same energy. You know, I guess it's kind of like if you're acting and have to come back after a pandemic and finish.
Exactly.
Or fit into a pencil skirt.
Yeah, 6 months later after just baking banana bread, like yeah, basically same thing.
Yeah. Well, let's definitely do this again. And thank you so much. You're lovely. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you. It was so nice meeting you too, Mike. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay, hold on one second. All right, so that was Paniz Zade. That was terrific. I had such a good time. She's terrific and a really good actress. So if you haven't checked out her work before, definitely watch out for her. She's done. I'll name a few of them. She had A Match for the Prince, Luckless in Love, which, if you follow the show, we had Brett Donahue on the program a couple weeks ago, who's the male lead in Luckless in Love, and he just raved about what a terrific actress and person to work with she was. So definitely check out Luckless in Love. She's done Christmas in the Rockies, Dashing Home for Christmas, Santa Squad. Loved her on Blood and Treasure, and then The Handmaid's Tale. She even had she was like a salon representative in 50 Shades Darker. I should have asked her about that one. But terrific, and loved her in Arrow. Just really good actress, and I know she has so much more coming. So I'm excited to see where her career takes her. and we'll get her back on at some point. Really enjoyed that. Hope you did as well. Sorry for the little break there. We'll hopefully when you're watching, I'm saying this now, you're like, what's he talking about? That means we did a really good job editing, but you'll probably notice a very quick freeze up. Sometimes that happens on Zoom. Thank you guys so much for watching us, listening to us again this week. We definitely don't take you for granted. If this is your first time checking us out and you'd like to support us, we could really use that help. It's really easy. It's free. Just subscribe. Those subscriptions help us to bring in guests. So they're really important to us. If you're watching, it's YouTube MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening, wherever you're listening to your podcast at, whatever application you're using, just subscribe there. That'll help us as well. You can find, we're getting ready to put out our 550th episode. I can't believe that. But you can find all of those, audio and video, on our website, meistercon.com. If we're doing anything in studio, like maybe we're watching Luckless in Love, that'll be on there. If we're going on location to, say, Morocco, that'll be on there. If we're covering a convention, whatever we have going on, that'll be on the website, meistercon.com. So definitely check us out there. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, bye, everybody.